Belinda, Belinda, Belinda. Bessie and old Tom live in the country. Early every morning, old Tom works in his garden. There is always plenty to do. He grows cucumbers and carrots, he grows pumpkins and parsley, he grows beetroot and beans, lots of other vegetables. Early every morning, Bessie milks Belinda the cow. There is always plenty of milk. She gives some to the dog, gives some to the cat. She puts aside some for old Tom and herself. With the cream she makes, the butter for the bread, and the skim milk she gives to the pig. One day Bessie packs her bags, puts on her hat and coat, and went to stay with her daughter who lives in the city. She left old Tom to milk Belinda the cow, make butter, and feed the dog and the cat and the pig. Old Tom got up very early. He took the bucket and the stool and set out to find Belinda. Belinda was chewing in the far corner of the paddock. paddock. He sat on the stool and placed the bucket carefully between his knees. Gently he put his hand on her teeth. "There's a good girl," he crooned. Belinda gave one almighty kick. Old Tom flew high in the air, landed with a thud in the mud. Belinda was off, and old Tom was off after her. Around and around they went, mooning and tooting, around and around they went, until old Tom was quite out of breath. What was old Tom to do? There would be no milk for the dog, no milk for the cat, no milk for the pig, no milk for old Tom, and no butter for his bread. What was old Tom to do? He went to the shed and took a rope from the wall. Then he went to his garden and pulled up the biggest, freshest carrot he could find. With these he set out to catch Belinda. "Moo!" crooned old Tom. "There's a pretty fat carrot, Come, come to old Tom. There's a good girl." "Moo!" answered Belinda as she cautiously, carefully inched towards his carrot. "Moo!" bellowed Belinda as she snatched the carrot from old Tom outside his hand. "Woo!" cried old Tom as he landed with a thud in the mud. Belinda took off, and old Tom took off after her. Around and around they went, mooing and trotting, Around and around they went until old Tom was quite out of breath. Now what was old Tom to do? If he couldn't catch Belinda, he couldn't milk Belinda, and if he couldn't milk Belinda, there would be no milk for the dog, no milk for the cat, and no milk for the pig, and no milk for old Tom, and no butter for his bread. What was old Tom to do? He thought and he thought and he thought and he thought. At least he stood up and strode into the house. At last he stood up and strode into the house. He took Bessie's pink dress from the wardrobe and put it on. The dress was too big, so he took a pillow from the bed and pulled and pushed and stuffed and shoved until at last the pillow was with him inside the dress. Then he tied Bessie's apron firmly around his middle to hold everything in place. He put on Bessie's big straw hat and pulled on Bessie's big rubber boots. In this disguise he set out to milk Belinda. Belinda was chewing in the far corner of the paddock. She looked up, blinked, then went on chewing quietly. Old Tom came closer and closer. He sat on the stool. He placed the bucket carefully between his knees. Gently he put his hand on her teeth. This time Old Tom didn't say a word. He squeezed, and a warm white spray made a ping in the empty bucket. He squirt, 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 squeak, squeak, squeak. The milk crept up and up until the bucket was full, and there was no more milk would come. Now there was plenty of milk for the now there was plenty of milk. There was milk for the dog, there was milk for the cat, and there was milk for Old Tom, and cream to make, and butter for his bread. And there was even plenty of skim milk left for the pig. When Bessie came home, she wondered how her pink dress came to have mud on the hem. She almost said, "Who's been wearing my dress?" But old Tom had been the only one at home, and it couldn't have been old Tom, could it?